Hi guys, welcome back to Less is More. My name is Dan Wellman and today we'll look at a feature of Less called guarded mixins, which are conditional mixins matched on expressions, the more advanced form of the simple pattern matching that we saw in the last part. So instead of matching on simple values, or the number of arguments passed to a mixin, we can instead match on logic using guards. Guarded mixins are the most complex and therefore the most powerful form of mixin currently available in Less. Guarded mixins introduce a range of keywords that can be used to build expressions in order to determine which variant of the mixin to use. So if we wanted to apply different styling to an element, but only when it was over a certain font size, we could use something like this. So we'll just get rid of those classes from the last part. So we'll call this one text. So that's the name of the mixin, and it will accept a value. And we'll say when the value is greater than 16px, we'll apply some special styles to it. So we'll make it bold. And we can make it italic. And we can give it a text shadow. And we can use our shadow mixin from the last time. So we can quite happily use a mixin inside a mixin, there's no problem with doing that. And it's going to be a text shadow. Okay, so we need to define a branch of this mixin for when the value is not greater than 16. So we define the second branch down here, we give it the same name, and it accepts the value. And we can just define some basic styles here, so we'll give it a color, and we'll use our font stack. And we'll set the font size to be the variable that's passed in. Great. So it's the when keyword used in the first branch that marks the start of the guard expression. @val is the value passed into the mixin, so we're testing this value to see whether it is greater than 16 pixels. When it is, it will get the styles from the first branch as well as the styles from the second branch. So when we come to use this mixin, the first time we use it, we might want to use it on a heading, so we can say 18 pix. But then the second time we use it, it's just for some regular body text or something, so we'll just make it 11 pix instead. So when we crunch, we'll take a look at the output CSS. And yeah, the first branch, because it was 18 pixels, it gets the special styles, the text shadow and the boldness and the italics, as well as the regular styles. And the second time we use it, it just gets the regular styles. So we used a greater than operator in our first guarded example. As well as using greater than, we can use less than or equal, equal or less than, and less than as well. Less also has both truthy and falsy values, which can be used as part of guard expressions. The value true is the only truthy value. Any other value is considered falsy. So probably the simplest guard that we could write that involved testing for a truthy value would be something like this. So we could make a heading mixin, and we pass in a value, and we just say when the value is true, then we want to make the font size quite big. So 30 picks. And then we need to specify another branch here for when the value is not true. And we don't even need to pass anything into this version. We can just say make the font size a bit smaller. So we'll set it to 18 pixels this time. It's still a heading after all. So then when we want to use this, so we'll just use an element selector. So for H1s we can say use the heading and set it to true. And if we want to use a H2, we want it to be a bit smaller, so we can just do that. And now when we compile, we'll take a look. And yeah, so the first time we used it, we passed in the keyword true, which is a truthy value, so it matched the first variant. And the second time we didn't pass anything, and nothing is equal to false. So we got the second version instead, the smaller font size. So that's pretty easy, right? So as well as checking for single values, we can also use the equivalent of an OR logical operator by separating guard expressions with a comma. The guard will match if any of the comma separated conditions are met. And we can also use the equivalent of an AND logical operator using the AND keyword. In this case, all conditions must be met for the guard to match. The NOT logical operator is also defined by the keyword NOT. Another useful aspect of guards in less is that we don't have to compare parameters passed to the mixins. We can use a variable as an operand. If multiple values are passed to the mixin, we can use these as operands and compare them to each other. Lastly, as well as comparing by value, we can also compare by type using a set of functions provided by less. These type functions include isColor, isNumber, isString, isKeyword, isURL, isPixel, isPercentage, and isM. So we can check whether the value is of a certain type and even whether it is of a certain unit. In this part we looked at guarded mixins and the various keywords and functions we have at our disposal to build expressions with. Guards are a valuable tool for providing conditional logic to mixin matching. In the next part of the series, we'll look at namespacing in less. Thanks for watching.